Hello, everybody. My name is Katy from Greenland Quilter, and I'm back with you for part 4 of my Cotton Cuts with Kim Moo's interview. And we are going to finish up talking about some things relating to the PMQs, which is Puzzle Mystery Quilt, and then we're going to move on to a few more things. So, can you talk briefly about what happens the first couple of weeks when a new PMQ is kitted and mailed out? What subscribers expect and what could happen, and how Cotton Cuts resolves any problems that happen?
All right. So very timely, Katy, because as you know, we're currently in this like post 2 to 3 weeks of a new mystery phase, right? So everyone gets really excited. You've signed up for your colorway. Some of them are sold out. We try and get them out as quickly as we can. We had a little stumbling block this time because we tried something new, but we are getting everything out as quickly as we possibly can. And the first time you try anything, I always tell my kids it's hard. And the first time you try anything, that's when all the learning happens. And so for us, every now and then people will post, hey, I was missing this, or hey, I'm missing this part. We always make it right. That's kind of foundation to our customer service is if you're missing something, just let us know. We'll get it out to you as quickly as we can. It seems like, and I know if you're in our Facebook groups that there's a lot of mistakes where our mistake rate is actually less than 1%. So for all the thousands of things that we ship, our complaint rate is less than 1%, is consistently less than 1%, and has always been less than 1%. This is something we track and manage, right? We want to make sure as many people are as happy with our PMQ as possible. And so we have spreadsheets. We have like massive spreadsheets. Anytime someone emails in, it goes into the spreadsheet. Anytime someone fills out our forms, it goes into the spreadsheet. And we're tracking and managing this and looking for trends everywhere. That's something we go above and beyond because rather than just ignore it and put our heads in the sand and, not fix it or make it right, that's stupid. We want everyone to finish these beautiful quilts. If we leave you stranded in clue 1, like you're not going to want to sew 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it is in everyone's best interest for everyone to get everything they need to be successful with the quilts. Now, I will say, we've been taken advantage of, right? It's unfortunate when you're as generous as we are with replacing parts and pieces and correcting mistakes. We do start to get to that point where there are some people that take advantages of companies like ours. It's fine, right? I would rather have everyone happy than really like fight and push back on a customer. That's not how we roll. With that said, we do track. So we are starting to measure how many times we have to replace a clue, right? Because there are people everywhere from all different walks of life and all different circumstances. And so we want to make sure that everyone continues to win with our program. And that includes us too.
Okay. All right. So, can you tell subscribers how big you think that the Carnival PMQ subscription is this year based compared to Village Green?
Right. So everything for us, all of our mysteries enroll to about 2,000 to 3,000 detectives. So for the past several years, that's about how many people we've had participating in the program altogether. And so, it's all like within a small variation of each other. We're still actively signing people up. So I don't even know where Carnival is going to land at the end of the day. And in fact, these first like 4 weeks, we will get probably 300 people signing up, 300 to 400 people signing up in just these first couple of weeks because, hey, I saw my friend and hey, she's got this cool thing, or hey, I saw online there's this cool colorway. I wish I'd have signed up for it. And so we get several hundred people in the first month signing up for the mystery. And we're going to continue to keep signups open through the 3rd month. And so I don't know where Carnival is going to land compared to Village Green. And people still call us today to sign up for Village Green. Like this is something that this is part of the business we do, right? And if people see their friend doing a Village Green and we have the fabric, then we want to include as many people as possible, always.
I've noticed over the past week since people started getting their kits and their monthly clues that we're having more and more people posting on the Cotton Cuts fabric page along with the mystery page as well. So it seems to me like a lot of people are happy with all the colorways. What do you think about that?
I love it. I love it. I love when people sew their stuff together, and I love when they post it on social media. Like that is such a fantastic way to just connect with people. I love it. I love it. I love it always. And it, we have cycles, right? And so everyone's super excited about clue 1, and then life happens in clue 2, and life happens in clue 3,
Yeah.
right? So that's why we try to do as many things as possible to get people to finish their quilts and to stay on track. So we've got the Zoom sew-ins. You and I talked about that, right?
Yep.
That's a good opportunity to just carve away time. It doesn't matter what life is happening. It doesn't matter what things you've got going on. Carve away that time and, take the 45 minutes to an hour that it takes to sew a clue and just sew it and keep up and keep on track. So that way you won't have a project in a box on a shelf. That actually makes my heart break to think about. But at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, like it happens. I'm a realist. I get it. I have boxes on my shelf of previous PMQs. I'm going to digress for a second. So Karen Broussard is a longtime detective, and she's been with us since probably the first or second mystery quilt. She's sewing one right now, Portia, and she's been posting the Portia colorway in the mystery quilters, and I love it. Like she's like, I'm
Yep.
getting back to it. It's important for me to finish it, and she's been posting her progress, and I am like cheering her along because that's awesome, right? It's something that she wanted to get done, and secretly Portia was very cool when we were doing it, and I'm very like, go Karen, shout out to Karen. This is awesome and amazing.
Hopefully, by seeing others, because I'm one of them, starts posting their past ones they haven't finished yet, maybe it'll get a lot of other ones who have that UFO of a PMQ in the
Mhm.
background, pull it out and start messing with it and putting it together. I think
Maybe
it all,
maybe this is a challenge idea. So you've got me thinking like maybe we have a month, we'll pick up a month that's kind of slow. So maybe, I don't know, September, October, and it'll be a bring out your old PMQ and finish it month. And we'll give people prizes for finishing their
that's a
PMQs.
great idea.
You
Count
heard
me
it
in.
first. Yeah. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. My social media team that's watching just fell off their chairs, but that's okay.
They're going to be loving that, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so one of the things I also wanted to mention is you have ambassadors who participate in the puzzle mystery quilts to expose people to the program via blogs, Facebook, and YouTube, and Instagram. So must not forget that one. And I
And
forget to
TikTok.
post
And TikTok.
and TikTok. Okay, I don't have
Yeah,
TikTok, but I do
that's
have
okay.
Instagram, and I constantly forget to post on there. But
That's
how
okay.
do you choose ambassadors, and how can a person become part of that specialty group?
Mhm. Right. So for us, the strategy for ambassadors, influencers, whatever title you want, has been the same since the very beginning. We are looking for people willing to grow their channels that want to grow with us, right? That we can have a mutually beneficial. We will give you, free content, and you can put it on your channel. Everyone wins. I've said it before, all boats float. And I am a big fan of finding people that are positively biased towards growing their following, engaging their customers, informing, power of positivity. That is truly core to what we're looking for ambassadors. And so over the past 7 years, we've had a lot of people come, we've had a lot of people out. Life derails some of YouTubers, right? Starting a channel is hard.
Yeah,
And,
it's not
finding
easy.
the right audience is hard, and finding a good technique. And so I am motivated by our ambassadors that do things differently, that think outside the box. And so our very, very first PMQ ambassador was Yvette Niesel. I know a lot of people know
Yep,
Yvette,
that's how I
right?
found
She
out
was
about
our
you.
very, very first. And she was doing our boxes. And I was like, hey, Yvette, why don't I just send you a test clue? I'll send you a PMQ, a half clue in the mail. And like, you figure out, like, do something with it. And so she made a 45-minute video, which you don't do in the YouTube world in those days.
Yeah.
Everything in YouTube is 5 minutes or less. She made a 45-minute video of her live sewing the clue. Like the cat was walking in front of the camera, right? Like, and the fabric got sucked into her sewing machine, into the feed dogs. Like everything that could go wrong went wrong. But she's a rock star, and she rolled with it, and she was willing to try something new and think outside the box. And her following doubled because of
Mhm.
that single video. And ours, we had so many people sign up in 36 hours because they saw Yvette sew this clue, and she was real, she was relatable, she wasn't overly commercialized, right? She was willing to do things that not everyone else was willing to do, and willing to show warts and all. And like, that's who we're looking for. We're willing to look for the people that are real, that are looking for genuine connections, genuine content. I don't like it when I'm turning on a YouTube channel, it's all commercials and ads and discounts and affiliates. Like,
Yeah.
that's not exciting or motivating to me. That's not inspiring. And as much as I kind of like it when the cat walks in front of the camera and
That
like
must have been
everyone
Jelly
laughs.
Bean.
It was Jelly Bean. And like, I am like, there goes the
No, Jelly
cat. Like,
Bean.
it's hysterical. That stuff is funny and it's cool.
What's hysterical is when he tries to put himself in a small subscription box. It's totally
Yeah,
funny.
yes, of course. So for us, and to answer your question, like, how does one become an ambassador? So we source ambassadors all the time. I've got a team of folks that does that, that's really looking for people to partner with. And then we also, if you reach out to us, right, we'll do an assessment. We've got kind of filter metrics we're looking for. We're looking for tone and video and all that stuff. But yeah, if you're interested, reach out to our team and we'll take a look.
Okay.
Mhm.
So do you see cotton? Now we're going to switch gears.
That's okay.
Do you see cotton cuts growing bigger? If yes, can you tell me what you envision?
Okay, so no, I don't imagine this company growing at all. We're going to continue to do the same thing we've always done.
I
No, that's
hope
not
so,
me at all.
right?
That is not me at all. No, I'm always like, what's next? What's next? What's next? So we've talked a little bit about future cotton cuts projects, right? We've talked about some of the things that we're going to be launching over the next couple months. And so for me, it's how do we take what we've built in cotton cuts, the foundations and the fundamentals that we've done to really do quilting differently, and then how do we apply them into other areas? So I've always had a passion project for yarn. I'm a crocheter. Like many people, I'm a multi-crafter, right? So what can we do in yarn? Can we find a mystery in yarn? It's a mystery program. Can we do something that gets to the, like, we do all the designing, the coordinating, and the cutting, so you can just knit or crochet? You know, what sort of preference things can we put into a yarn box? So it's not a you get what you get and you don't throw a fit box. Really kind of what sort of things can we do in the yarn space? I think that's kind of our next brave frontier for us. But I want to do it thoughtfully and I want to do it correctly. And so I've had some folks over the years put together some strategies for what that would look like. I'm not liking them very much. And so it's really, it needs to be done thoughtfully and deliberately. It doesn't need to be wasteful. I don't want to do another Me Too. It has to be something different than everyone
Right,
else.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me what you love doing the most?
Solving problems.
Okay.
Sorry, without hesitation, that's it. I solve problems.
Does your children want to be part of your business in the future, or have they said anything about it?
Yeah, so you know both my boys. They
Yes.
participate in the Zoom sew-in. So Lincoln is 13 and Dominic is 11. They are both currently on the leadership team at Cotton Cuts. So Lincoln, my 13-year-old, is our chief marketing officer. We kind of laugh, call him that. He's also a chief happiness officer. He calls himself in his spare time. And then Dominic is chief strategy officer. Both of my boys have been part of this business since they were very young. It's part of their life. So rewind the clock 7 years, they were really young when we started doing this. And, you know, we had the small team and they would pitch in and help out. Just in the past couple of weeks, right, we've had a bolus of work and they've been helping out because they know what they're doing and they're awesome and they're great. You know, I think Dominic could see himself doing something in cotton cuts, like the idea of like, well, cotton cuts might not last. Right, is kind of sad to him. Like, I see his face fall, like, wait, I'm not going to do this when I graduate college. You know, who knows where the world will
Yeah.
be then
Yeah.
and
No
when.
pressure
But,
there, right?
but my kids are part of this business and they're truly my why. When I think about why do I do this every day, it's because I want to set a strong example for my boys that they can follow their dreams, follow their passions, not give up. Life is hard, you know, not everything comes easily. And they're getting their MBA along with me. And so we talked about ambassadors a little bit. And so I asked my kids one day, I was like, hey guys, go into YouTube and see if you can find us some cool accounts to partner with. And just the level of conversation between the two of them, they were on two separate computers as they were analyzing YouTube video and content and following was amazing to me. And then my 13-year-old comes and he's like, hey, so I was thinking, you know, if you're going to do blog posts, maybe you should look at, you know, the top Google search words. And he's like, and so today, here were the 5 top searches on Google. And maybe you should write a blog post that incorporates some of these search terms to get people to come and look at your page and read your blog. And I'm like, holy cow, the kid's 13. Like, this is amazing. And so to me, those are my proud mom moments, is to see them kind of leverage what I've been teaching them. And it even goes back to, there was one day I had someone working for me and I wrote him a check, right? Like, this is how you pay people, right? You write checks. And Lincoln was 6 at the time. And he comes up to me, he's like, Mom, can we get paid for working at Cotton Cuts like you pay everyone else? And I was like, sure. How much do you think I should pay you? And he said, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, I pay people by the hour. You work an hour and you get a certain amount of money. And he's like, well, can I get $1 an hour? And I'm like, hired. Like, my kid negotiated his first salary at 6 years old. Proud mom moment.
Yep. One other thing I wanted to cover as well is, can you talk about more in depth about your philanthropy endeavors? You mentioned in, I think, our second interview about you were planning on coming up with a program where those of us who are part of Cotton Cuts could participate in helping with whatever your endeavor is. Would you like to talk about that a little bit too?
Yeah. So future endeavors still to be determined, still to be scoped. We're still working on that. So we have always had at our element, at our core, some element of giving back, right? Quilters are giving people. We like to make quilts, give, share, donate. All of those good things are core to who we are. And so since the very beginning, there's always been an element of Cotton Cuts that's given back to those underrepresented, underserved populations. And so in the very beginning, we partnered with a sheltered workshop for disabled individuals to do a lot of our work for us. We funded and supported the creation of over 600 quilts that were donated all around the world through our Heart Builder program. We've partnered with One Common Thread and done several fundraisers with them over the years. We've done a charity quilt probably every other year or so, where we do a charity puzzle mystery quilt and then auction it off and, donate the money to a rotating crew of charities. That's something we're going to bring back for Carnival. We just haven't had a chance to announce it yet, but we're going to be doing kind of a celebrity blog kind of quilt that we then raffle off. As I look forward to kind of what our next chapter is going to be. So I think we mentioned it's going to be called Cotton Cuts Cares. This has been something I've always wanted to create a nonprofit as part of Cotton Cuts, and this is kind of the starting foundation of that. And so I have a team of employees that are super motivated by, giving back. And this is kind of, we'll call it a company committee of folks that are looking at how can we do projects to engage our super energetic and enthusiastic audience around making an impact in their community, right? We've learned a lot of things over time, and rather than everyone bringing everything to Cotton Cuts and we decide how it's distributed, why don't we empower everyone who's located all around the world, 15 different countries, all 50 states represented in our audience. How can we make an impact locally and provide resources, tools, and inspiration for people locally to give back where they are?
That's really good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. As a woman in the business world, have you ever considered mentoring other women to get
all the time
started into being an entrepreneur?
All the time. So I think, okay, so now you're going to make me do some math here, Katy. So I would think in my whole professional career, I have mentored probably over 150 to 175 people. Nice. Some of them have been people that were, so at one point in time, I had an executive admin. I was on the leadership team at a pharmaceutical company, and he refused to let me leave the building because every time I would come back, I'd come back with someone to mentor, right? And so that's just one of those, like, I am a big, like, give back and share and help people think differently. And so there's a lot of organizations within the quilting world where I've mentored other business owners, where I've mentored certain, underserved populations to kind of start and mobilize their own business and strategy. I love this. This motivates me, this energizes me, and it excites me, and I love giving back. We also have a super robust intern program at Cotton Cuts. Every summer we have at least 4 or 5 interns. I like giving college kids a chance to work at a business like ours. They get to touch so many different things. All of my interns, when they graduate, they go on to like these super stretch jobs, because when they talk about their work experience with us, they've actually done stuff other than get coffee and answer emails and phone calls. And so like some of our best ideas and programs have come from my interns. And I love supporting people who want to do more than what they have now, be it mentoring, be it internships, be it co-ops, whatever it takes to get people into the right place.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Um, let me see here. I hope I've covered most of what I really wanted to ask you about. Do you want to tell me about anything else that you might be planning or have in the back of your head that you haven't
Oh my gosh.
talked about to me yet?
Gosh, Katie, we've been talking for like 4 or 5 weeks now. You're asking me to remember what we haven't covered. Um, No, I mean, I'm just super excited that every day I get a chance to wake up and solve problems and launch new products and be creative and engage with awesome, awesome members from all over the world and, get to build relationships with people. I think
Yeah,
that's truly what makes me happy with what we do. I love my employees who are always willing to go and be above and beyond to continue to learn, to grow, to develop. When I come in and I'm like, here's today's crazy idea, they don't run away. They're willing to, stay on the boat and continue to go. I love all of our members that are so supportive of everything we do, that continue to show up and are willing to try new things, right? There's a lot of things we do that it takes courage to like put your credit
yeah,
card in and buy it. And the number of people that do that and continue to support us, like it's a big continuum, right? Everything supports itself, and as long as our customers are happy, the employees are happy. If the employees are happy, the customers are, and like everything's great.
okay. Well, the only other thing is there anything else that you want to expand upon before I end this?
Thanks.
The only thing I didn't ask you about, and then I should have, I'm a little remiss for not asking, what does your husband think about all of this?
Oh, my husband is the most amazing human being in the whole world. So we have been married for 22 years. It's a long time. And I mean, we're college sweethearts, the whole bit. My husband is insanely supportive of the crazy lifestyle I have chosen and the like, okay, I'm going to work late. Okay, I've got my laptop open. Okay, we're going to work the weekends. I mean, he's not here, right? He's not like working in the hallways, helping
Okay.
out, right? Every now and then he'll pop in, like, so I had the boys here when we were packaging up some of the Carnival stuff, and he's like, well, I could go sit at home by myself, or I could come and help you guys. So he came and helped us for a little bit. But my husband, I mean, he knows like to tell me no would be the worst thing in the world. So he just supports as we continue marching forward.
Hey, when your mate is there for you for whatever endeavor, that's a wonderful thing in my opinion.
Mhm.
Because it helps keep you positive while they're positively being behind you on it.
Yes,
What
agreed.
does he do for a living?
So he works at RGA, Reinsurance Group of America. It is a group that insures insurance companies for life insurance, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And he works in their risk analysis and data analysis group. He develops complex models that, help the business see many, many, many years into the future. He's data analytics to the core.
Oh
That's
boy.
his job. Yeah, I know. He's a number
Oh boy.
cruncher. That's okay. I'm a number cruncher too. We get along. It's great. As long as our numbers continue to crunch at the same rate, we're in the right place.
Do you guys take time off together as a family away from both businesses and get out and go do, I mean, do you go on a vacation to some place or what do y'all do to keep that family unit close?
Oh my gosh. So the four of us are super tight. So I would say we're super active coaching our kids. So if someone's like, so hey, what do you do in your spare time? I coach youth athletics. That's usually my first response at this point. I coach soccer teams. Eric coaches their basketball teams. He is also the director of the track program for our local program. So he, coaches a team of like 200 kids. We are super active with our kids. That's really how we connect together. We also love to travel. So I would say once or twice a year, we'll take 1 or 2 weeks and go someplace. It's
Okay.
different all the time. There are some places we really like. So we love New Orleans. That's one of our favorite places. We go every other year. My boys could lead tours of New Orleans. They love it. Next year, we're going to go to Oaxaca, Mexico. A close friend is getting married, so we're traveling 30 people to go to Oaxaca. We've gone, yeah, we've been to Barcelona before. I think you saw pictures of us when we went to
Yep.
Barcelona. You were wondering if I was going to come see you. Unfortunately, that did not make the itinerary. I know, I know. You know, it's one of those we like to travel. And so when I look at the boys' passports, it's well traveled. When I look at our passports, we're well traveled. It's what we like to do.
Guys should put South Greenland on your bucket list for during the summer months, or even all of you get on a cruise and you can do parts of Greenland from wherever you're sailing from. I had a
Yeah.
really cool thing happen Sunday. This will be the second time it's happened. I met a fellow quilter from off of a cruise ship.
What?
So what I did was I posted in all the quilting groups I'm in and said, is there anyone taking a cruise that will be coming by South Greenland? And two other people have messaged me, and the other one is going to be here on the 20th. So it's possible for y'all to hop on a cruise ship and do the same thing. And I know
Well,
you, but it would be better if you just flew over here and did your own thing. There's a lot of things that the boys really, enjoy along with y'all. We have a hot springs, we have the ice cap, there's all
yep.
kinds of things that can be done. There's whale watching between June and July up in this set, which is near Disco Bay, and they have skyscraper size icebergs there that you can see. So there's lots of things that any age of family can participate in when it comes to Greenland.
Well, so speaking of quilt shops, my family is well aware that whenever we travel anywhere, mom is always going to go to at least one quilt shop.
Yeah.
That is kind of one of those rules, and they've kind of just glommed onto it. The boys and I did an Alaskan cruise, and every port there's at least one quilt shop, and we knew
Nice.
we were going to go to the quilt shop. But to me, I always like to have that's part of the adventure, right? You just don't go directly to the quilt shop. Like as you go by a bakery, like look in the window, like go try it. Hey, you go by a coffee shop, like let's go try this, right? And so we've all adapted that part of the adventure is actually getting to the quilt shop and not necessarily the destination. And even I was telling someone earlier today, so I've done a lot of travel around the world. And one of my things that I do is I always get the first Harry Potter book everywhere I go. So
Oh, wow.
Harry Potter and so in whatever language of the country that I am in, and then I always write a little story in the cover of how I found the book. And so that's kind of my gift to the boys.
That's
And
really
we now
cool.
know when we travel together that we're always going to find first Harry Potter. So I have, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch. I have a ridiculous, like I think I have like 18 of these now.
Do
But
you
so
have any
again,
in Danish?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm going to Denmark at the end of this month. I'll look for one and send it to
Okay.
you for your
It's
boys.
it's one of these like I always write the story of how I found it. And to me, it's more important the story than the destination.
Yep.
And so like when I went to Japan, we were in the Tokyo Dome and there was this cute little like corner bookstore. And we had to explain to the book clerk we were looking for Harry Potter. And it wasn't until I wrote the words down and she took me right to it. And it's one of those like just it's all the adventure
Yep.
for me.
Yep. Yep. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to let me interview you so that I
Yeah.
can share with the rest of the world who Kim Moose is and how you made cotton cuts successful. And also just to mention that there's a lot of us who really, really love your company. And
Thank
I
you.
love the positivity and the camaraderie that we've all shared. And, it's just been a really good trip to be on.
Yay. Okay, good. We'll stay on the trip.
Yeah, yeah. No problem with that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for taking the time to do the interviews because I know you're a very busy person and that my channel's new and the last 3 weeks I'm just blown away by what's happening with it. But
That's great.
I'm up to 311 subscribers right now.
I'm proud of you, Katie. That's awesome.
That's just something.
Maybe you just need the cat across the screen.
Yeah. Too bad my dog can't walk across like that.
Thank you, Katie. It's been a real honor to spend this time with you. I very much appreciate it.
Same here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.